Hello, you good? I'm Nicole. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this video. Today I'll be talking about husband material. Yes, it is important. Not every single man is a husband material, my darling. Not every single boyfriend has to become your husband. Not every single fiance has to become your husband, and not every single husband is a husband material. Ladies, we shouldn't be desperate. Whether we progress in age, whether families is putting pressure on us, whether community is putting pressure on us, whether society wants us to all be wifeys and mothers, you shouldn't give up to the pressure. You deserve better, you deserve much more, and that's what you should be getting. Something good. Okay? So, how do you know that a person is a husband material? First thing first, the person you're dating has to want to become your husband. You can never force a man to get on his knees and propose to you. That's just wrong. You can never be so desperate that you put your partner, your fiancé, your boyfriend, you name it, in a position where he can't breathe unless he has to propose to you. That is totally wrong. A husband material person is a person who wants to be married. There are so many men who do not want, they don't want to be married. That's just a fact. He doesn't want to get married, doesn't he? Doesn't want to marry you, he doesn't. The reason is keeping you maybe because sex is good. You are so good in bed. You are so easy to sleep with. You're so easy to have sex with. That's probably the reason why he's keeping you around. That just, it breaks my heart to know that, but it is the reality of so many relationships. He's keeping you around because you are independent. You pay your own bills. He knows if he has to date a high maintenance woman, he will have to spend more money because she's high maintenance. He's keeping you because you are easy. You are independent. You like sex so much. You have a high sex drive. Or maybe you come across so desperate that it's so easy to keep you hanging when he's benefiting from you. But he doesn't want to marry you. He doesn't even want to get married. Not today, not tomorrow. He will think about it. Ladies, you need to be very careful. A husband material is a person who wants to be someone's husband. He wants to have marriage as a marriage as type of relationship one day. That's how you know he's a husband material. So, but you can't go around transforming or forcing every single boyfriend to become a hubby. They don't want to be a hubby. They don't want to be a hubby. You know? Yeah, that's it. You see. And second of all, it's a man who, second element, it has to be a man who wants a life, you know, who has a life of his own. You see, there are people who, I don't know if it's called dependence or what, but there are people who don't have life of their own. Like you meet these wives, it's always been my husband, my husband, my husband. But who are you outside of your husband? I want to know you as a person. What can you do outside of your husband? Who are you outside of your marriage? A husband material is a person, a man who has a life of his own. He has a name. He has a passion. He has a dream. He has a career. He's a person with a life. He's a person with a destiny. He's a person with ambitions, with goals. That is a husband material. First of all, he has to want to be someone's husband. He has to want marriage. Even in the later futures, you know, it doesn't matter, but he has to want marriage at some point in his life. That's a husband material. Second of all, he has to have a life on his own. He has to have a dream, a passion, a reputation, an identity, you know. The third one, it has to be someone who is healthy. There are so many people who are not healthy here. He has to be mentally healthy. A husband material need to be mentally healthy, emotionally healthy. You see, emotionally intelligent. You cannot be connecting yourself, wanting to be married to someone who is emotionally stupid. There are so many men already older in age, 30, 40, 50, you name it, but emotionally is not intelligent at all. If you look at the decisions that he makes, the choices that he makes, the way he thinks, the way he does things, you can see there's a problem, there's a decay, there's a decrease in emotional intelligence. This is not a husband material. You're gonna struggle. He will always behave like a child. Even though he can be 46, 45, he will be behaving like a 10, 12 years old, and that will be a painful thing to do. It will be easy if he's someone who listens, because he can always change and improve. But if he's a stubborn, you will suffer so much, my love. So be sure that it's someone who is healthy mentally. There's a lot of psychopaths, there's serial killers, narcissistic. There's so many bad people out there. So you have to make sure that the man is mentally stable, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, spiritually healthy. There are so many people who are possessed by demons. You don't want to share your body and your life with someone who's possessed by demons. You're gonna suffer. Remember, when there's a sexual intercourse that happens, there's transfer of energy. Among that, there's also transfer of demons. So if the man is possessed by demons, you automatically gonna get it through the sexual intercourse. So being married to someone who is possessed by demon will definitely ruin your life. If not now, in the long run. You will see you had plans and project, a bright future, but since you have connected to that person, whether it's sexually or spiritually, you can see your light is becoming dim and dim and dim. You are no longer shining. You are no longer closing all the business deals. You are no longer achieving your dream and goals. Something has happened to you. You have to be very, very careful. The person has to be spiritually healthy, mentally healthy, physically healthy, emotionally healthy, before you can assess and approve that person being a husband material. Okay, the next element is the person, the fourth, I think, yes, the man has to be family oriented. There are so many, they have no plans of having a family. You cannot go around transforming each and every single boyfriend like that to a husband. It will be a big mistake. The man has to naturally want to have a family. He has to want to be a family oriented by himself. So with you in the picture, that will only help things out. But with you in the picture forcing things, that will never, that will not help things out. So yes, the fifth element is the person has to be spiritually clean. There are people who are spiritually dirty. I'm telling you, they slept with so many people. They have an extremely high body count. That some of those sexual intercourse relationship they've had before has brought so much of spiritual baggage in them. They have bad energy in them. There's resentment, there's anger, there's demons. They are spiritually not clean. So it has to be someone who is spiritually clean. When you see his spirit, you can see cleanness. And also when you are in his presence, you can feel the positive energy that is releasing. Now this is a husband material. But when you see the person is releasing a negative energy, you might not consider that, because you're going to pay the price for it sooner or later. Okay, the next element is stability. You need to be in a husband material that you need to be in a relationship with need to be stable. There are so many people who are unstable in their mind. That's why there is a lot of cases of marital rape. A husband who is not stable in his mind, when you tell him, honey, I'm not feeling well, we're not gonna have sex tonight, he's gonna rape you. He's not stable here. Why will he listen to you? You tell them, look, I'm having my menses, I'm not uncomfortable, I'm uncomfortable, we can't do it. He's gonna force himself on you because he's not mentally stable. He thinks because you guys are married, he has earned the lottery to abuse of you sexually whenever he wants, verbally whenever he wants, calling you names, physically, emotionally, treating you anyhow. This is not a healthy man. This is not the husband material. And signs don't lie. If you ignore these signs when you are dating him and courting him, you will have to face them when you marry him. So it's better now you identify what is a husband material, what's not, so you can know how to make your choices. Okay, you need to be financially stable, emotionally stable, mentally stable, physically stable. It mustn't be an abuser. Any abuser, verbally, physically, financially, mentally, is not a husband material and should not be your husband. Do you understand, my ladies? Yes. To the last element, he has to be financially stable. You don't want to get married today for you to start paying for your husband's bill, your kids' bills, his family, your own plans and dreams and goals, bills. And no, your husband needs to have some sort of source of income, some sort of finance. He needs to be a provider. so he can provide for you, for the kids. Even if you're not gonna have kids, that's fine. He can provide for you, care for you, so you can perform in your feminine energy, so you can rest in your feminine energy. You know, you shouldn't be performing in your masculine energy, but always in your feminine energy. And the best way to do that is when you are in contact with a provider. So a man who is not a provider is not a husband material. So do not fool yourself around. Okay, I love you so much and I want the best for you. I'll meet you ladies in the comment section down below. We're gonna have discussion about men being husband's material. I love you so much. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I will see you on my next upload. Love you. Bye.